Hello, and welcome to the Everyday English Lounge. My name is Avery, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Chloe.
Hello, everyone. It's lovely to be here. Today, we have a very useful topic for you. We are going to talk all about bank basics, opening accounts, and handling money conversations in English.
That's right. Whether you're new to an English-speaking country or just want to improve your financial vocabulary, this episode will help you feel confident talking to bank staff, understanding banking terms, and managing your money in English.
We'll cover everything from walking into a bank for the first time to having everyday conversations about your account. And don't worry, we'll speak slowly and clearly and explain all the important words and phrases you need to know.
By the end of this episode, you'll be able to open a bank account, make deposits and withdrawals, ask about fees, and solve common banking problems, all in English.
So grab a pen and paper if you'd like to take notes, and let's get started with some essential banking vocabulary.
Before we jump into conversations, let's learn some key banking words. These are words you'll hear again and again when you visit a bank. First up, account. An account is like your personal money container at the bank. When you open an account, you're creating a place to keep your money safely.
Great explanation. Now, there are different types of accounts. The most common is a checking account, also called a current account in British English. This is for everyday transactions, paying bills, buying things, getting paid from work. You use this account frequently.
Then there's a savings account. This is for money you want to save for the future. It usually earns interest, which means the bank pays you a small amount of money for keeping your money there. For example, if you have $1,000 in savings, the bank might pay you $20 per year in interest.
Now, let's talk about moving money. When you put money into your account, that's called a deposit. For example, I'd like to deposit $500. When you take money out, that's a withdrawal. For example, I need to make a withdrawal of $100.
You can withdraw money from an ATM. That's an automated teller machine or cash machine. It's that machine outside the bank where you insert your card and get cash. In British English, people sometimes call it a cash point.
You'll also hear the word balance. This is the amount of money currently in your account. If someone asks, "What's your balance?" they're asking how much money you have. You can check your balance on your phone app, at an ATM, or by asking a bank teller.
Speaking of tellers, a bank teller, or just teller, is the person who helps you at the bank counter. They can help you with deposits, withdrawals, and answer your questions.
And don't forget debit card and credit card. A debit card uses money directly from your checking account. When you pay with it, the money comes out of your account immediately. A credit card is borrowed money that you pay back later, usually with interest if you don't pay the full amount.
One more important term, PIN. That stands for Personal Identification Number. It's your secret 4-digit code that you use at ATMs and when making purchases. Never share your PIN with anyone.
Excellent. Now you know the basic vocabulary. Let's use these words in real conversations.
Now, let's walk through opening an account. Imagine you've just entered a bank. The first thing you see is the reception desk or waiting area. What do you say first?
You might approach the receptionist and say, "Good morning. I'd like to open a bank account, please." Notice how we're being polite with "good morning" and "please."
Perfect. The receptionist might direct you to sit down and say, "Certainly, please have a seat, and someone will be with you shortly." After a few minutes, a bank representative will call your name and take you to their desk.
The bank representative might start by saying, "Good morning. I understand you'd like to open an account. Is that correct?" You simply respond, "Yes, that's right."
Then they'll ask, "Are you interested in a checking account, a savings account, or both?" This is where you need to think about what you need. If you want an account for everyday expenses, say, "I'd like to open a checking account, please."
Good. Now, here's an important question you should always ask. What documents do I need? Documents are papers that prove who you are and where you live.
The representative will explain, you'll need a valid photo ID. That could be a passport or driver's license, and proof of address, such as a utility bill or rental agreement. Let me explain those terms. A utility bill is a bill for water, electricity, or gas. A rental agreement is your lease or contract for your apartment.
If you have those documents, you can say, yes, I have my passport and a recent utility bill with me. If you don't have them with you today, you should ask, I don't have those documents with me today. Can I bring them tomorrow?
Now, here's something very important. You need to ask about fees. Banking can cost money, so always ask, are there any monthly fees for this account?
The representative might say, this account has a $5 monthly maintenance fee, but we waive it if you maintain a minimum balance of $500 or set up direct deposit. Now, let me break that down.
A maintenance fee is a monthly charge just for having the account. Waive means they won't charge it, they'll cancel the fee. Minimum balance is the smallest amount of money you must keep in the account. So if they say a $500 minimum balance, you need to always have at least $500 in your account.
And direct deposit means your employer automatically transfers your salary into your bank account instead of giving you a paper check. This is very common and convenient.
You might also want to ask, does this account come with online banking and a mobile app? Most banks will say yes. They'll probably add, yes, you'll have access to online banking and our mobile app. You can check your balance, transfer money, and pay bills anytime 24/7.
Another good question is, what interest rate does this account earn? For checking accounts, the answer is usually 0 or very low. For savings accounts, they'll give you a percentage, like, this savings account earns 0.5% annual interest.
Now let's talk about the debit card. You can ask, will I receive a debit card? They'll say, yes, you'll receive your debit card in the mail within 7 to 10 business days. Business days means Monday through Friday, not including weekends or holidays.
Here's another important question. Are there any ATM fees? Some banks charge you money for using ATMs. The representative might say, there are no fees if you use our bank's ATMs. However, if you use another bank's ATM, there may be a fee of $2 to $3.
Finally, you'll need to make an initial deposit. The representative will say, would you like to make an initial deposit today? The minimum opening deposit is $25. If you have cash or a check, you can say, yes, I'd like to deposit $100 in cash.
They'll take your money, process your paperwork, and say, congratulations, your account is now open. Your account number is 123-456-789. You'll receive your debit card and welcome packet in the mail within 7 to 10 business days.
And before you leave, always confirm. Just to confirm, I'll receive my card next week and I can access online banking right away. They'll say, that's correct. You can register for online banking today using the temporary password on this form.
Perfect. You've successfully opened a bank account in English.
Now, let's practice some everyday banking situations. First, depositing cash. Imagine you walk up to a bank teller's window. You make eye contact, smile, and say, hello, I'd like to deposit this cash into my checking account.
The teller will smile back and say, certainly. May I have your account number or debit card, please? You hand over your debit card and say, here's my card.
The teller takes your card and the cash. They'll count the money in front of you and say, I have $200 here. Is that correct? This is your chance to make sure the amount is right. You respond, yes, that's correct.
The teller processes the transaction and says, your deposit of $200 has been processed. Your new balance is $1,450. Would you like a receipt? Always say yes to receipts. Yes, please. Keep receipts for your records.
Now, let's say you need to withdraw money at the counter instead of the ATM. Maybe you need a large amount or specific bills. You say, hello, I'd like to withdraw $300 from my checking account, please.
The teller asks, may I see your ID and debit card, please? You show them both. Then they might ask, how would you like that? In 20s, 50s, or would you prefer a mix?
This is asking what size bills you want. If you want 650s, say 650s, please. If you want 1520s, say all in 20s, please. Or you could say, could I have 200s and 520s?
The teller counts your money carefully and hands it to you, saying, here's $300. Please count it to make sure it's correct. You count the money right there at the counter and say, "Yes, that's correct. Thank you."
Now, what about depositing a check? This is when someone gives you a paper check for payment. You approach the teller and say, "Hello, I have a check I'd like to deposit. How long will it take to clear?"
Great question. Clear means the funds are verified and available in your account. The teller might say, "The funds should be available within 1 to 2 business days." You'll need to endorse the check. That means sign your name on the back of the check.
You flip the check over, sign your name on the back, and hand it to the teller. They might ask, "Would you like any cash back?" This means, do you want to receive some of the check as cash right now? If the check is for $500 and you want $100 in cash, you say, "Yes, I'd like $100 cash, please."
The teller processes everything and says, "I've deposited $400 into your account, and here's $100 cash. The deposit should clear by Thursday. Is there anything else I can help you with today?"
If you're done, you say, "No, that's everything. Thank you so much for your help." If you have another question, now's the time to ask it.
One more common transaction, transferring money between accounts. If you have both a checking and savings account, you might say, "I'd like to transfer $500 from my checking account to my savings account."
The teller will process this quickly and say, "Done. I've transferred $500 to your savings account. Your checking balance is now $950 and your savings balance is $2,500. Easy.
Sometimes things go wrong and you need to speak with customer service. Let's practice those scenarios. First, a lost or stolen card. This is urgent. You call the bank or go in person and say, "Hello, I need to report my debit card as lost. Can you cancel it and send me a new one?"
The bank representative will respond quickly. "I'm sorry to hear that. For security, I'll cancel your current card immediately so no one can use it. Your replacement card will arrive in 5 to 7 business days. Would you like to set up a temporary PIN for emergency cash withdrawals at the branch?"
If you need cash before your new card arrives, say, "Yes, please, that would be helpful." They'll give you a temporary PIN that you can use at the bank counter.
What about unauthorized charges? Maybe you check your account and see a transaction you didn't make. You call the bank and say, "Hello, I'm looking at my account online and I see a charge for $150 at a store I've never been to. I didn't authorize this transaction."
Unauthorized means to approve or give permission, so an unauthorized transaction is a charge you didn't approve. The bank takes fraud very seriously. They'll say, "I understand your concern. We'll open a dispute and investigate this charge immediately. In the meantime, we'll issue a provisional credit to your account while we review the case."
Let me explain those terms. A dispute is a formal complaint or disagreement. You're disputing that you made this charge. Provisional credit means temporary credit. They'll give you the money back while they investigate, usually within a few days.
They might also ask, "Did you lose your card or do you still have it?" If you still have your card, say, "I still have my card. I think someone may have stolen my card number online." They'll likely cancel your card and send a new one.
Another common issue, overdraft fees. An overdraft is when you spend more money than you have in your account. For example, if you have $50 in your account but you spend $75, that's a $25 overdraft. Banks usually charge a fee for this, like $35.
If this happens, you might call and say, "Hello, I was charged an overdraft fee of $35. I didn't realize my balance was so low. Is there any way to waive this fee?" Remember, waive means to cancel or remove the fee.
If this is your first time or you're a good customer, they might be understanding. "I see this is your first overdraft in 2 years. As a one-time courtesy, I can waive this fee for you. However, I recommend setting up low balance alerts to avoid this in the future."
A low balance alert is a notification you receive by text or email when your account balance goes below a certain amount, like $100. This helps you avoid overdrafts. You can say, "Yes, I'd like to set that up. How do I do that?"
What if there's an error on your statement? You notice the bank made a mistake. You say, "I'm looking at my bank statement and I see I was charged twice for the same transaction. Can you help me fix this?"
The representative will investigate. "Let me look into that for you. I see the duplicate charge. This appears to be an error. I'll reverse one of these charges immediately, and you should see the credit in your account within 24 hours.
Always check your bank statements regularly to catch errors like this. A bank statement is a document that shows all your transactions for the month.
Before we wrap up, let's share some handy phrases you can use in any banking situation. When you need clarification about something you don't understand, say, "Could you explain that again, please? I want to make sure I understand."
Don't feel embarrassed to ask. It's better to ask questions and to make a mistake with your money. You can also say, "I'm not familiar with that term. Could you explain what that means?"
When asking about options, say, "What are my options for example, what are my options for avoiding monthly fees?" Or what are my options for international money transfers?
You can also ask, "What would you recommend?" Bank staff know their products well, and they can give you advice based on your needs.
When you need time to think before making a decision, it's perfectly fine to say, "Can I take some time to think about this?" Or, "I'd like to review the terms before deciding. May I take this information home?"
And always remember to be polite. Start conversations with greetings like good morning or good afternoon, and end with thank you for your help or I appreciate your assistance.
Here's an important cultural tip. In English-speaking countries, it's normal to ask questions at the bank. Bank staff want you to understand everything. Don't feel shy about asking for explanations.
That's so important. Also, many banks now offer services in multiple languages. If you're struggling with English, you can always ask, "Is there someone who speaks your language?" Many banks have multilingual staff.
And don't forget about online resources. Most banks have websites with glossaries, FAQs, and video tutorials. These are great for practicing your banking vocabulary at home.
One more tip. Keep all your banking documents organized. Bank statements, deposit receipts, and account agreements contain valuable vocabulary. Reading them is excellent practice.
Now, let's do some quick practice dialogues. These are complete conversations you might have at the bank. I'll be the customer, and Avery will be the bank teller. Listen carefully.
Good morning. How can I help you today?
Good morning. I'd like to deposit this check, please.
Certainly. May I see your ID and the check? And please sign the back of the check.
Here you go. How long will it take for the funds to be available?
The funds will be available in 1 to 2 business days. Would you like a receipt?
Yes, please. And could you tell me my current balance?
Your current balance is $1,250, and with this deposit of $500, your new balance will be $1,750 once the check clears.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, that's everything. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you for banking with us.
Great. Now let's do another one. This time let's practice a phone call to customer service about a lost card.
Hello. Thank you for calling First National Bank. My name is Avery. How may I help you?
Hello. I've lost my debit card and I need to cancel it immediately.
I'm sorry to hear that. For security purposes, can I verify your identity? What's your full name and the last 4 digits of your account number?
My name is Chloe Martinez and the last 4 digits are 5678.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. I can confirm your identity. I'll cancel your card right now. Have you noticed any unauthorized transactions on your account?
No, I just noticed it was missing an hour ago.
Good. I've canceled your card so it can't be used. Your replacement card will arrive within 5 to 7 business days at your address on file. Is 123 Main Street correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Perfect. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that's everything. Thank you so much for your help.
You're very welcome. Have a great day, and we apologize for the inconvenience.
Excellent practice. Did everyone hear how polite and clear both conversations were?
Before we finish, let's quickly review the most important phrases from today.
For opening an account, I'd like to open a checking account, please. What documents do I need? Are there any monthly fees?
For transactions, I'd like to deposit or withdraw blank. How long will it take to clear? Could I have a receipt, please?
For problems, I need to report my card as lost. I see an unauthorized charge. Could you waive this fee?
And always remember these polite phrases. Could you explain that again? What would you recommend? Thank you for your help.
The most important thing is to speak clearly, be polite, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode. Let's quickly recap what we've learned.
We covered essential banking vocabulary like account, deposit, withdrawal, and balance. We practiced opening a bank account step by step, making common transactions, and solving problems like lost cards and unauthorized charges.
Remember, banking in English doesn't have to be stressful. The key is to prepare, know your basic vocabulary, and always ask questions if you don't understand something.
We hope this episode has given you the confidence to walk into a bank and handle your financial conversations in English. Practice these phrases at home and you'll feel much more comfortable when you need them.
Thank you so much for listening to the Everyday English Lounge. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share it with your friends who are learning English.
And if you have suggestions for future topics, we'd love to hear from you. You can find us on social media or visit our website.
Until next time, keep practicing your English every day.
Take care, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.